Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Pokebeers, where we catch them all
and catch a buzz.
We've got another episode of how to play the trading card game here for you today. So this is part 3 of the series, and this is titled Parts of a Turn. There are essentially 3 different things you can do on your turn, and we're going to go through and show you what that looks like.
Cool. Awkward.
We have a playing field set up here for you. We've got an opponent's side over there, and then we have currently an active Pokemon with an energy and a Pokemon on the bench. And I'm going to show you what we currently have in our hand for this example. This is what we're working with here. Got a few trainers, got some energy, and one basic Pokemon. Now, part 1 of your turn. You always start your turn off by drawing a card. All right? It doesn't matter how many cards you have in your hand, you always draw for the first thing that you do. Now, the second part of your turn is you can do any number of things that I'm about to talk about. Number 1, you can put a basic energy or a special energy onto your Pokemon. So let's say I want to energize this guy here. I could do that because I took the energy from my hand and I put it there. Now you can only do that one time unless you have abilities on your other Pokemon that would allow you to add more energies. Number 2 is you can evolve the Pokemon that you have on your field. Now, obviously, Snorlax doesn't evolve, so I wouldn't be evolving Snorlax. But Clobbopus evolves into Grapploct. So I could evolve that Clobbopus into Grapploct. Now, let's say I had a couple more of them down on the bench. You can evolve as many times as you want in your turn. All right. Number 3, you can... what was it? Put basic Pokemon cards from your hand onto your bench or your active slot. Now, I have a Pokemon in the active slot already, so I would be able to put Hitmontop onto my bench because he is a basic Pokemon, and that's where he would go. Number 4 that you can do, you can play trainer cards. You see I have a bunch of trainer cards left in my hand, all right? With the exception that you can only play one trainer supporter card per turn. So let's just say I go and I play Pokegear 3.0. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a supporter card you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards into your deck, all right? So let's just say I just wanted to use that. I could look at the top 7 of these, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I could take a trainer supporter that I find in here, and I could take Sonia or Marnie, it doesn't matter. And then I would just shuffle these into my deck. I'm not going to do that to save time. But that was only one trainer card. I have a fistful of them, so if I really wanted, I could go through and play all of these if it benefited me. Now I drew the supporter card so I could play Marnie and execute the action on that. But that would be the only trainer supporter card that I could play this turn. So there we go for the trainer cards. The 5th thing that you can do is you can retreat your Pokemon. Now most people don't do that because it's essentially a waste of energy to retreat a Pokemon. I don't really see a lot of people doing that, and CC and I never retreat Pokemon unless it's for free with a trainer card, but that's generally not something that you typically do. And the last thing for step 2 of your turn is you can use an ability, all right? Now, if you notice, I have Snorlax, and he has an ability right here. So we could read that, and it says, once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may draw cards until you have 7 cards in your hand. If you use this ability, your turn ends. All right? So I could use that ability and I could replenish the cards in my hand, but I would sacrifice being able to attack my opponent. Now, I don't have Pokemon on my bench or in the active spot that have any abilities that you see, but if they did have abilities, I could use them. You can use every ability of your Pokemon, which is pretty cool. Now, the final thing, the third thing that you're going to do on your turn is you will attack. Now, I have enough energy to attack using Tentacle Buster here. So I could do 50 damage. And that would immediately end your turn. And once you attack, your turn ends and you go into what is called the Pokemon Checkup phase, which Cece is going to have some cliff notes here that she can read off to you for what the Pokemon Checkup phase does.
Okay. So attacks can leave your Pokemon with special conditions. These conditions can only happen to active Pokemon and are removed when Pokemon are moved onto the bench or are evolved. So one of these special conditions is asleep, which means your Pokemon cannot attack or retreat. During a checkup, flip a coin. If heads, your Pokemon recovers. If tails, he stays asleep.
Night, night.
Night, night. A second one is your Pokemon is burned, which we use with the Band-Aid coin.
We do.
We
the
love
Band-Aid coin.
That's
I wish I had it out here.
which indicates burn. So for each checkup turn, you'd put 2 damage counters on it and flip a coin.
And 2 damage counters is 20 damage, which is a decent amount for just added damage.
Yeah. If heads, your Pokemon is not burned. If tails, Pokemon is still burned. Pokemon cannot be double burned.
So you can't like stack the effects of burning.
But I can double burn you in one video.
That's rude.
All right. The third one is your Pokemon is confused. You're going to turn your Pokemon so the head is facing to you to show that it is confused because it doesn't know which way it's facing. If your Pokemon is confused before attacking, flip a coin. If heads, attack works normally. If tails, attack does not happen, and 30 damage is done to your confused Pokemon, which is a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
I didn't realize
but it's
it
a
was that
coin
much.
flip, so
That's true.
burn is actually guaranteed damage.
Facts. All right. The fourth one is paralyzed. You turn your Pokemon 90 degrees clockwise.
Clockwise.
Clockwise. Edit that out, please. To show that it is paralyzed. Paralyzed Pokemon cannot attack or retreat. After the end of the owner's next turn, it recovers during the checkup.
Yep.
And then the last one is poisoned. When your Pokemon is poisoned, put a poison marker or a skull marker
Or a skull.
on it. During the checkup, the Pokemon gets 10 damage and it can't be double poisoned.
Same thing with the burns. You can't stack poison effects. All right. Yeah, so there we have it. That's part 3 of how to play the game. Hopefully that gave you an idea of, what a typical turn looks like. And part 4 of this series is we're going to actually walk through and play a couple turns for you.
And I'm going to beat Jason.
Most likely, because you have better decks. But
You're smarter than me, so.
in certain things. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we will catch you
On the next one.